don't give a fuck about people. So
Oh my God. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, y'all. Oh, we live. Wait a minute.
mhm, we live.
Is this thing on?
It's
Yes, it is.
on. I'm on the wrong screen. I'm having all kind of problems this morning.
Hey,
You all discombobulated. See, the
behind the
mountain bike done put
scenes.
some on your Wi-Fi.
Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh.
Mm, mm.
Wait
I
a
got
minute.
it, Shawnee.
Okay.
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
Oh, I'ma tap in for sure.
Tap in.
Good morning. Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends. What's today? Today is Monday, March the 7th.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Monday. It's Monday, right?
Yes,
It's Monday.
Monday,
These
March.
days are running together, but it's Monday.
That's
Yes,
because we're getting old.
yeah, they start
I'm
running together.
seasoned. I don't like to use that word old. Season.
Is that what they calling it right now?
Heavy on the season. Yes.
Heavy on the season. Let's get my blood pressure up.
That's too funny. Michael Shawn, as you can see, is not here right now. He's still under the weather. For those who saw the show Dex the Psychic, I don't remember if y'all noticed this. Dex the Psychic came on and said Mike was coming down with some type of virus or bug, was trying to catch him. And God darn it if Dex didn't nail it again.
Yes, he did.
So Mike is out sick, fighting whatever bug it is. Good morning, Kathy Black, day one. So Dave Anderson. Woo,
Yes.
We had him on in a minute.
Yes, I'm back.
Dave, I reached out and said, Dave, Mike is out sick. We need you. Dave was like, I'm near. Bam.
Perfect.
And he came.
Yeah, I'm near like 2 brand new mountain bikes.
Yeah, like 2 brand new mountain bikes and a wig. For those who know.
I'm about to say, it's good wig today. It's good wig Monday.
Behind the scenes shenanigans on this show.
Mm-hmm. Just make it clap.
Oh Lord.
So we got Dave hanging out with us, holding it down for Michael Shawn all morning.
Yes, sir.
Also, Camari, our financial rebel, the tax expert, he'll be sliding through as well. Any tax questions? It is tax season. Hopefully, y'all business folks, y'all know y'all got till the 15th of March to avoid IRS late fees. So I guess S corps and all of those individuals, businesses, to the 15th. Regular common folk is still April 15th. So you're good there. So I guess how everybody's weekend really quick, how everybody weekend went. I guess we want to start with Shawnee before she leaves and pop out again.
Yeah, Shawnee.
Oh, my weekend, it was pretty good. It was crazy because I'm doing some stuff with the girls. But Saturday, me and Bink hung out at the American Airlines Center for Black Excellence, brought to you that was put on by Black Enterprise. So that was all these Black businesses took over the American Airlines Center, so you can walk through, meet them. We went through, of course, gave out our Media Room 360 brochure.
Promote.
Yes, we were promoting. And see, it has all of our shows. See, it has all of our. Oh, wait a minute. All of our shows in it.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
And I was so excited because I got to meet Hawatha Williams. Hawatha Williams owns this chicken place called Williams Chicken here.
Hey!
Yes.
The corn fritters still hitting.
Yes.
Sorry, I was having a flashback to 06. Leave me alone. Judge your mother.
Must be damn good.
Yeah.
The corn fritter is amazing. Let me tell you something. I don't like to, as a Black man, I don't like to talk about chicken on the air. I have a rule. Williams Chicken is that good.
It is.
It's so delicious. I haven't had Williams Chicken since March of 07, and I still remember how good them corn fritters was.
Wow.
Absolutely. So you would be proud of me, Dave, because I made about 20 contacts and I got about 20 phone calls I got to make today.
Only 20? Did you get some video?
I got some video. We did get video, and we're putting up the video. Yeah.
Oh, I swear to God, I'm gonna fly in and teach your ass how to close. I just be like,
Mm,
Shawnee just be
Uber.
halfway there.
She be close. She be close. She had the brochure. She had the marketing. She was talking to people.
But she should have closed. Like, you gotta close at the. You gotta close while they're in the moment. It's just like how you put it on somebody and all of a sudden your kids get mountain bikes. You gotta close in the moment.
Wait a minute, but
good morning, slow your roll, Jeanette, Jacqueline.
They said, good morning, y'all. They said that we could talk. Well, Mr. Williams told me I could come by and talk to him, and he got my information. So, and he gave me his. So
yes, gotta drag Williams chicken into the future.
Yeah, and the only one that I didn't get was the CEO of the Mavs. She was there. She spoke first. But she
Dallas
left.
Mavericks. You said, wow,
yeah,
okay.
Cent. I can't think of her whole name, but they call her Cent. She used to work at AT&T, and now she's the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. And she was very instrumental in bringing this event to the AAC. And they had a game that started at 4. They played the Kings that day, so that was part of it. You got to go to the Black Excellence event if you participated in it, and you got to go to the game. So while the panel is going on, the players from the Mavs and the Kings come out and start practicing on the court while we sitting on the court too. And I was like, how rude is this?
Okay.
But didn't nobody say nothing, so it wasn't my house. So I was just like, well, okay, I guess this is just
Mark Cuban want to make sure he don't miss out on his money. All right, Negroes, I done let y'all come in here.
Right.
Now these boys got to warm up. I need another championship. That's all. Simple.
Well, but yeah, that was, and then I installed a new studio in the Media Room 360. So I'm excited to debut that coming up this month.
It's growing. It's
so
growing.
Where are the mountain bikes? I just want to know where are mountain bikes in the studio?
Mountain bikes they actually sitting right in front of me right now.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Mo, how was your weekend,
getting all
Mo?
type of sponsors.
Nothing wrong with sponsorship. Nothing wrong with sponsorship.
Hey, look, you said you wanted me to meet somebody, so now I met somebody.
I'm happy you met somebody. Now he got to be vetted. He got to see me.
Okay, well, he
that's
actually
tough.
wants to see you.
That's going to be a tough interview, Shawnee. I don't know.
Yeah, he was like, I like that guy. I want to talk to him myself.
Yeah. He likes everybody right now because it's new. Everything is cool. Love is all brand new. We'll see how cool he is when I fly in.
Oh, this is going to be a good interview. I just want to sit in.
When you flying in, Dave.
You can't prep him, Shawnee. You can't prep him. You gotta give it to Dave Raw.
Because we're coming up there in March.
Yes.
I mean in May.
Oh no, I'm coming down before May. We're not doing that. No, you don't get another 60 days without seeing me, homeboy. This ain't 60 days in.
60 days in.
No, homie.
And while you at it, maybe we can meet Mo's fiance too, but I guess that's another story.
Yeah, he slipped by me.
Yeah, he slipped by everybody.
Right. Next thing we know, it's going to be moderately attractive, Mo.
Let's focus.
Right, because he ain't gonna like that.
Let's focus.
Can't be sexy no more. No, that's how you got her, homeboy.
Yeah, no. Everybody knows if you date me, that those things are they're non-negotiable. There's some non-negotiable things. But no, my weekend was great, Jay Black. I, of course, community service. I had a writing workshop for some of the school age kids in Philadelphia. It was virtual, but it was great because they got a chance to meet an artist and get like firsthand pointers about how to compete for some of these scholarships out here. A lot of the surrounding area schools in Philadelphia, their students are at an advantage. A lot of our students in the inner city don't get these, $100,000, $200,000 scholarships because they're weak in their essay game. So, I tried to level the playing field for them and offer them some of these workshops to help them compete.
Nice.
That's nice.
It was fun.
We need something like that here.
Oh, great. Let's see. What did I do this weekend? My daughter has a stomach virus. Then my wife caught the same stomach virus, and I ran to the doctor with my daughter. And it's got to run its course, but now I got to run back to the doctor with my daughter this morning. But I did get out with my sister-in-law, my wife's twin, and my brother-in-law, and we went and saw Capone. Had a Sunday brunch out here with Ray, Soul Comedy Brunch. fellow Laugh House alum. Let me tell you something. Capone shut that situation down, and I got some stuff that I want to tell y'all that's crazy about that situation because somebody stole one of Capone's jokes and put it on a Netflix special.
But what?
Well, once in comedy, once they make it to TV,
and we love Capone.
It's over once they do that.
The way people treat Capone, as far as how much he's done for people, and the respect he does not get in the industry versus the respect he gets amongst his peers. But this particular comedian did not need to steal Capone's joke.
Can we say who the comedian is?
I'm gonna just say this is a 5.3 on the Richter scale. You take from that what you want.
Oh, I think I know who it is. You said Netflix special.
I did. Netflix special that happens to be coming out February 28th. I'm sorry. Earthquake. Excuse me.
It's always drama in the comedy world with the whole, people taking jokes and yes. But I think
this is a business problem, Sexy Mo, because comedians do not take the time to copyright and trademark their jokes. They wait until they get to TV.
Can they do a NTF on their jokes? Like, can they monetize their NFT? I meant to say yes. Can they monetize?
They could, but that's not necessarily going to copyright it. That's just going to put it in somebody's crypto wallet. If you copyright your material and you register it, and somebody uses that copywritten material, you can sue them. You can sue the producers. You can sue the network that it shows up on. You can sue the sponsors because it's illegal use of copyrighted material.
But how do you know? Because a lot of comedians say I already had a joke like that, and it sounds similar, but I've been doing this for years. That's always the response.
The thing of it is, in this particular case, that joke is so specific, and it's been going around for quite some time, and no one's ever heard Earthquake do that joke until this special. But Capone's been doing that joke for a few years.
Wow.
There's a difference between having the same premise, like women be shopping. Or like, I've got particular jokes. Like I have a joke where I talk about the LGBTQ community, and I also talk about the fact that the real culprit, the real person that you need to focus on is not, the gay community or the straight community. It's the flag manufacturers. Because the flag manufacturers are going off out here. You know what I'm saying? They are pimping everybody on every end. If you are pansexual, there's a flag. If you just a regular gay, there's a flag. I'm sapiosexual, so there's a flag for that. So I need a flag because I'm turned on by somebody's intelligence? Yeah, no. See, they're a bunch of faggots. So, like, if you hear somebody else say that, good and hell well, that not a joke.
Well, all right. Hey, good morning, Nikki White Chocolate.
Good morning, Nikki.
Afro Queen. Hopefully you got your package. Afro Queen. Good morning, everybody. So, yeah, that threw me off. But yeah, so I got a plan to watch that Earthquake special. I wanted to watch it, so I'm gonna be looking for those jokes.
I need to see
Capone
those
is
jokes.
one of the New York king of comedy.
Correct.
So, he's been around for a long time. For those who may not know who Capone is, and very, very.
He's a friend of the show. He's yes, we love Capone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that he doesn't get the respect in the industry. I feel like he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's too classy to blast that man on Comedy Hype, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you ain't even got a dog in that fight. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You're right.
That's it, man. Like, because it's hard. Anybody will tell you, Mike would tell you if he was here, it is so hard to come up with material when everybody has the same premise. How do you make it different? Like, Williams chicken don't taste like KFC, but we all dropping it in oil. You feel me? So, like, to do that to that man, like, to me, but you know what that is, though, right? When you're old and you don't think you're ever going to get that shot, you want to try and make the best of it because you have a worker's mindset, and most comedians have a worker's mindset. But
or you seen it work for somebody else, so you like, you know what? They have success. I'm going to use one of their punchlines because it worked for them, but it doesn't always resonate the same.
It doesn't.
People steal jokes. It happens. What up, Stacy Mitchell? Stacy. So once again, Mike, like I said, Mike is down under the weather. Like Dexter Psychic said, he predicted Mike was coming down with this.
We're gonna have to wrap him in a bubble.
So we got Dave here with us. He hanging out with us.
What was your weekend like, Jay? How did that man go?
Trying to find a cat. between watching Kanye's third up trilogy, I wanted to finish watching, and then I've been trying to find a kitten, Shiny, and I'm not. Some of these the adoption places, and I just want a kitten. And I didn't realize how hard it is to find a kitten. The people want to come to your house to verify your living arrangements. What?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. They want to make sure that you're not living in squalor.
Oh,
that's doing too much.
Jay Black, you having difficulty finding some good pussy? I'm confused.
Didn't know
remember that
was an
time we
issue
was in
for
New
you, Jay
York.
Black.
Just that 15 minutes. That's your promo.
Didn't know that was an issue.
Me and Mrs. Black gonna have to have a conversation.
That was the promo. Okay. All right. So, all right. We appreciate Dave Anderson, the business bully, for being here. We got him all morning. We got Camari coming up. What up, Amir? Blessings, salute to
Good morning.
And everyone.
Maybe we can contact the SPCA for you, Jay Black, or on your behalf.
Yeah, I just want a good cat.
Let's let them come to the crib.
That's it. All they wanted to come check the house out. I thought they were doing too much.
Oh man, you need to go to PetSmart.
Well, Jay Black is cheap. You know Jay Black. Jay Black don't want to spend no money.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
But you're gonna need to get, even if you get a free cat, right? Let's just say there's just a box of pussies, right? And you get
a free box of pussies.
There's no free cats.
Right.
Let me
There's
tell you
no
something.
free cat.
You got to pay.
Maybe not y'all, but see, y'all decided to put some value on it now or after the fact. But there was a time when even your cats was free. But let's focus. If you take a box of free pussies, you know how it says free pussies, and you get one, you're still gonna have to take it to the vet. It's still gonna need to get chipped. It's still gonna need to get all of its shots. All that's gonna run you anywhere between $75 and $150. If you go through PetSmart, they'll do all of that for free, and all you gotta do is sign the paperwork. There you go.
But that's what I was saying. Ain't no cat free. You gotta pay something.
You gotta pay something. Okay. You either paying when you're coming or you paying when you're going.
Paying for wigs, you paying for mountain bikes.
Yeah, brand new sets popping up.
You pay even in marriage, Jay Black. Let's not get it twisted.
Whoa, let's not.
You're gonna be paying forever.
Let's not do that.
Paying forever. Some way. There's a honey-do it list somewhere in Jay Black's on Jay Black's desk. Honey-do.
Yeah,
that's Jay Black's fault. He needs to make sure he can hire people to do those honey things. I have no time for that.
Right. So in the news, I saw this thing went viral. It was.
Oh, wait a minute. I like the new gear, Jay.
Oh, the white. Yeah,
that's nice.
Lifestyle brand. What is it?
Nice.
Yeah, woke up inspired.
Woke up inspired.
Woke up inspired. Yeah, since 2021. You know, that's we woke up inspired. Yeah, the wife is just trying to be creative. And I do
solid branding right there.
And Camari said I could do this, and then I could write this off. He said if you put a label,
you can absolutely write that off.
That's exactly how he sound too.
There's always a money game to Jay Black's business. There's always something going on to his. It gotta have some money attached to it.
Oh God! So in the news, it was a wife that actually I don't know. See how this. Maybe y'all would do the same thing. I don't know. Or Dave, a spouse. Say if you won the lottery, right? And it's for $500,000. Do you tell your spouse or not? Do you keep it to yourself because you know your other half is, may want to blow through that money? I got my woke up inspired gear. Salute. Afro Queen bought a couple pieces of clothing, so nice. I'm glad she got it. So do you tell your spouse or do you not?
Well, first of all, I will tell my spouse after I put it in an irrevocable trust. Yes.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Hey, we want $500,000. It's in the irrevocable trust. We're gonna let that money. We're gonna let that money grow, and do what it needs to do. See, simple problem solved. She can't spend it. I can't spend it either. That's all. We don't put systems in place, and as a result, we get wary. The thing that really screams out about me to the story is why in the world wouldn't you trust you? Why are you with a spouse you can't trust?
Ding. Yeah.
Well, everybody's not good with money.
If you marry somebody who's not good with money, you're an idiot.
What?
Or you should get them some classes.
That needs to be
Your ass is supposed. Listen, I'm not the organizer in my marriage, nor am I the organizer in my business. Right? My wife is organized, so she handles the organization part of what happens in the running of the home and the rearing of the children. You know what I'm saying? And I have become more organized as a result of her example. That's
Mhm.
how you make people better. My wife wasn't really big on entrepreneurship until I came along. Now, she's been retired since 2012. She's put out best-selling books. Like, you make each other better. Iron sharpens iron, but some of y'all are cutting butter with your iron, and that's the problem. This is not about a lottery ticket. It is about a mismanagement of trust, resources, and the fact that that couple is not equally yoked.
Ooh, hit it
Absolutely. What
hard. Hit it
Yo,
hard.
Shawnee, Mo.
the
From
rest
the
of the
back.
story, the rest of the story is
Yes.
the whole story is that she won that money like a week before they were getting married. So
Three
technically
days. 3 days
she
before their wedding.
she was single and she knew that he would just blow through the money. So she put it in investments. She got a financial advisor, put it in investments. The only way he found out is because the lady texted and said, "Oh, you're now a millionaire."
The
Mm.
the the financial advisor reached out and she said, "Babe, check the phone." And he was saying it's some financial advisor said you cracked 1 million, and he's like, "What? Where's this?" And that's how he found out that his wife, is a millionaire and hit the lottery for over 500,000. But Shawnee, you're saying that because they were single, they really, I mean, if we're getting married in 3 days, we're not single. We're engaged. That relationship is far in to be the whole. They were single, and it's her money aspect. That's where you were going.
Yeah, they was single. They was
Yeah, it's
single. They
amazing
had
that
not
if this was a
said I
dude,
do. They had
if this
not
was a
said
dude who
I
did
do.
that, y'all wouldn't be singing this. Oh, he was single. Y'all be like, you got to
Hey.
pay for it. Where my
They
mountain
were
bike?
single. They
But
were not
one of my
married.
questions I think would be is did they even sit down and have a financial conversation before they decided to get married, decided to move forward, to see where they what are their positions on money and spending? What are their positions on investing? And then to the point where she feels like she has to be secretive or even think about whether or not she should divulge the information, that means they have trust issues from the start.
Yeah, she said that if he knew they had that money, he was gonna buy stupid stuff like cars and
She said
just
cars and
stupid
So
clothes.
stuff.
that's
She
a
said
bigger
cars
Yeah,
and
problem.
so
clothes.
That's her fault.
she was
How?
like,
So then that's a
"No."
bigger
Here's the
problem.
thing. Let me tell you something. My mother and my father, very lovely people. My mother would say the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. My father would say whoever has the gold rules. And that's
Mhm.
that. So if you allow somebody to buy cars on your watch and you do all that and you don't put them on a financial plan and they're not the financially stable one in the relationship, that's your own damn fault.
But
See
that's
how
Can you
why
this
be
all
she
makes
did
engaged?
what
sense?
she did. I think that she was smart in doing that because she did it for
Smart.
them. It's not like she hid the money and she just was like, oh, "Okay, this is only gonna benefit me." It's
Yeah,
been
but here's where she
benefiting
went
both
wrong,
of them.
Shawnee. She sat up there and did not tell him.
Yeah, I
And
can't
then
trust you now
it's
forever.
not even that, Jay
I
Black, because
don't
she
For
didn't
me,
tell him and then
You
didn't
said
say, listen,
forever.
what
you're
else you
you're you're
hiding?
horrible with money. And because you're horrible with money, you can't touch this. Like,
But he wouldn't have took that way. And
doesn't
then
matter how you took it. He don't
to
have a
make it
vote.
worse, when she told him, he decided that see, this is the bullshit right here. He decided that he was so distraught and this stressed him out so bad that he had to go stay with one of his friends for a couple of weeks
You
until he
gotta
got it
process that.
together.
After they just got married?
My
She
Well,
chose
wife.
no,
him.
this is years later. So
You are
she
bugging.
won like 3 days
Years
before they
later?
were getting
Oh,
married.
years later.
And so now it's like 7 years later, and he sees the text message that she's a millionaire. But the money
Mm.
been benefiting their house.
Yeah, so that takes on a whole nother meaning. That means that you're
Yeah.
hiding money from your
For
spouse. I don't agree
years?
with that.
For
I
And
don't
years?
agree
Shawnee's
with
No,
that.
okay
Started
with this.
before they was married. She didn't
it
have to
doesn't
tell
Shawnees,
matter.
him.
you were engaged, getting married in 3 days. You're not
Because
just
here's
meeting
what you're not keeping
someone.
in mind. And Kamari Ellis would tell y'all this, and I could be wrong, but I
Oh,
don't
shut
think
up.
I am. Kamari Ellis would probably say, imagine if something were to happen and she didn't pay taxes on that money, then all of a sudden, you're in an injured spouse situation. And the truth of the matter is that's not necessarily healthy. So he should be a little bit upset. But we can ask
No,
him when he gets here.
he
Every time
got
I
a
do the Kamari Ellis
financial
voice, my throat hurts.
advisor. He
No,
got a
that was a good
financial
impression. That was a
advisor.
good impression.
And hey, he made the money grow.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's
He
I
was
wild.
think
he
that
was
the
the
dishonesty
responsible.
No, that's foul,
But
Shiny.
but he couldn't touch it anyway because she invested it. So why not after she invested said, listen, I came into some money before we got married. I invested it, and this is where we are with it. This is what the dividends look like. This is what we are with it. But to hide it from him, and basically she really had no intentions on telling him. He found it by default.
By mistake, because you know what happened. Because when you lie, you forget and you cover things up. You got secrets.
She didn't have.
Oh, babe, you can check the phone, and then bam, yeah.
But yet check the phone. She ain't got too many secrets.
I'm good. No,
she didn't think that was going to come through. That's why she doesn't pick the phone.
She didn't, but she don't have other stuff, going on.
Talking about, you see, you don't get to move the goalpost in order to fit your really, really vaginal American narrative. It's not how this works. Yeah, because here's the thing. Now all of a sudden you can't call a woman a woman. You know what I'm saying? You can't call her a woman, you can't call her a lady, you can't call her female. You can't even call her or her exclusively. So the way that I separate biological women from all the other people claiming to be women, and that's their right, I call women vaginal Americans. You can't get mad at that.
Okay. But what if your vaginal canal is man-made? I said, what if you have a man-made vaginal canal? Because you
don't have man-made ovaries. Be seated.
So yeah, ovaries. We are the ovaries.
Because if I call you ovarian Americans, then I automatically disregard your breasts. I disregard your hips. But if you're a vaginal American, it sounds a lot better. Do you want to be referred to as the ovarians?
Well, they do call us the ovaries.
Yes,
I'm just stuck on a wife keeping this type of deep secret from her spouse or vice versa, and
but it benefited you the whole time.
I get it.
I think that
I'm proud of the fact that it benefited us, but I can't get by the fact that you were deceitful and kept such a huge secret. If we're getting married in 3 days, we've already said we're gonna be rocking with each other. That's already established, right, Shawnee? You gonna admit to that, right? That's right. Yeah. So within that, there's a certain level of trust that we're a union. We rocking. We need to be on the same page. And you holding that you got this much money, I'm sure it's going to pop up in taxes at some point throughout the course of the next year. So because it's going to have to be reported, I'm gonna find out within a year. So why are we?
He didn't find out within 7 years, so that lets you know who was really over the
separate
finance.
taxes. She did
or is there financial advice? Did the financial advisor advise her to file taxes separately so that he's not privy to what
more
kind of money she has?
So now you're building more lies.
So
even with that, like even
he ain't concerned. He, like she said, he was gonna blow through all that money, and she did not want that to happen.
I'm considering a divorce with that million, and I mean get my half because now
that was somehow before we got married.
Somehow is attached.
But the gains aren't. The gains aren't. If she got if she got $500,000, then it grew to $1 million. That $500,000 that they got during the course of the marriage, that's gains.
That's marital assets. So
if he got half of the $500,000 she got, then he gets $250,000, and he can go on about his business.
Yeah.
Stacey said it sounds like something she would do. You shady. I don't get you mean.
I mean, in the beginning, I
when it benefits them.
Y'all foul.
I think that she should have been teaching him along the way, showing him better money management skills along the way. Like if you say, this is my person, the only thing is wrong is you don't know how to carry that bag right. That's something that's teachable. That's something that you can change that type of thing. But I don't think I would keep it from him for 7 years that we are millionaires. I think that that's something that you both should celebrate in. Yes, I understand why she didn't tell him in the beginning because she was leery, but I think that if she would have approached it a little bit differently and said, look, we have this money, we can't touch it, but and just kind of guided him along the way. And then so by the time year 7 came and y'all are millionaires, y'all can celebrate together instead of feeling like you got this big secret that you gotta hide.
I can't even get my wife to spend money. I'd be like, babe, go buy this. She'd be like, I'm still getting used to this. If you don't buy that damn purse, just don't buy it.
I love it, but I love it because you taught financial responsibility, you taught fiscal responsibility, but you're also saying that there's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself either. So there's a happy median, a happy balance, and maybe that's something that she should teach her husband because he likes nice things. If he's going to run through the money, he likes nice.
We don't get to. we don't, Shawnee, we don't get to do this thing where you start creating hypotheticals that have absolutely nothing to do with the
But
facts that
y'all
have been
done
presented.
created all kind of hypotheticals. We
Like what?
only have this information from the story.
We do have
That's
the
all
information that
we
she's a
have.
millionaire, is she not?
Yes, she
We do have
is.
the information that she won a 500,000 in the lottery, did she not?
One, yeah.
We do have the information that she kept that from her husband for 7 years, did she
Uh-huh.
not? We do
Mm-hmm.
have the information that that part of it that's 500,000 that was made after the marriage is
Mm-hmm.
fair game. So what exactly was hypothetical about anything I said?
But all that, okay, well, we could teach him and he might not want to learn. That might be the problem.
That's a big problem
He,
then in your marriage if you have somebody who's fiscally
Married her.
irresponsible
She didn't
and
she didn't take the money and say, "Oh, forget you. I ain't marrying you because I'm on now." She stayed there and it benefited their home.
how if he didn't even
How?
know
and I
What?
about
don't
it?
trust
How
you with
did
the
it benefit?
bag, is what she said.
We
I
don't
Exactly.
know
don't
if it
trust you with the
benefited.
bag.
No.
It could have just been
Everything
a
was
rainy
being
day fund.
taken care of.
She's so
Everything was
We
being
funny.
don't
taken
know that.
care of.
We don't know that
You know?
AKA, don't trust Shiny in a relationship.
at all. You better buy a whole. It's
You
gonna take a whole lot of
shady.
mountain bikes.
You shady J Black.
If Shiny got something she
Palm
holding, that's what's
tree.
hers is hers and what's yours is hers. I see how this go.
I
But
mean,
This
at
is
so
this
Palm Tree
point, yes,
Monday.
what's mine is mine. What's yours is yours, and then what we build together is ours.
So you're
Yeah,
saying, like, even in the state of Texas, I don't know Texas marital laws or whatever, but so
Oh, I
say,
do.
Media Room 360,
I
Media
can tell
Room
you some stories.
360 is, is on the rise, and you get married, Shawnee, and all of a sudden, boom, bam, it's a multi-million dollar company, it's $1 billion, multimedia platform.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't tell him what Media Room 360 is earning now.
Yeah,
And you
that's
take
why
that
it's
money,
so
you
called.
continuously reinvest it, and you continuously reinvest
So,
it in things because you don't want him to run through the money or say, look, we balling now. Like, let's
yeah,
get this, let's get that.
yeah.
You would still
That's
keep
why.
Media Room 360's peak earnings from him.
Listen, we'd have to figure out a prenup, a nice little prenup. He can protect his stuff. I got to protect mine.
You ain't even closed the Williams chicken money yet. You talking about prenup? If you don't sit
I'm
down somewhere.
saying, but it's
The other
coming.
part of that is in
It's
Texas,
coming.
everything is split down the middle, regardless of who earned what. Unless you
Really?
have any type of prenup. Absolutely.
Oh,
Let me tell you
wow.
something. The best thing my ex ever did was not turn in that marriage certificate because I walked away with 100% of everything I had.
Well,
Oh,
then we go
wow.
get married in another state. I'll find a state where it ain't like to be like we can get married over here.
yeah,
I
different
think
state,
that
different
I
laws.
thought that's why a lot of people want to get married in certain states because of the more protective marital asset laws that they have in place.
I love Pennsylvania.
Well, the Commonwealth.
Mhm.
But so Texas, you have to split everything down the middle. So if I walked in and say I didn't have a job, I didn't have anything, and then all of a sudden the tables turn and my spouse didn't have to work because I was the breadwinner,
Mhm.
and we
Yeah.
decided to go our separate ways, he would get half.
Not only that, in Texas, there's a law on the books, and you can Google this. If you walked into a room, like say Shawnee walked in a room with Mountain Bike Man and said, "This is my hubby," and there's more, and there's a witness there, at that
King
particular
Pella.
point, you are married.
You're married, yeah.
Really?
All you gotta do is say it.
And
That's
if
why y'all
you
run
let
around
them
here calling
stay
each
at
other
your
wifeys
house,
and stuff. Don't do that in Texas because you're gonna be legally married to that man.
ooh, if they
So if
spend
you
the
live
night at
with
your house,
somebody,
that's it.
so if you live with someone and you announce to the public like, oh yeah, that's my wife, but you're really
Mm,
not married per se through the courthouse,
correct.
you're recognized, your
Yes,
union is recognized.
If
absolutely.
you just
Oh
spend the
wow.
night, like I think, what is it, 3
Not
consecutive
spend the
nights
night.
or something?
Oh, three
Yes,
consecutive nights. Wow.
yes, like 3 consecutive nights. Y'all
I
common law
thought you got to at
married.
least get mail at the house or something. But
No,
wow.
that's
Okay.
those are squatter. Those are squatters'
So
rights.
all you gotta do is pack your whole bag and stay somewhere for 3 nights,
3
and you
nights.
consider it somebody's wife.
Yeah.
Common law married.
Sexy Mo, how big was your whole bag?
Hmm,
I'm just speaking for the ones who do have whole bags.
what?
You trying to say you never had a whole bag? You never had a spend the night
I had
bag?
closet space. I had
You
closet
had what?
space. I had closet space.
You had space in the closet.
I did.
But
Stepping cheeks in the closet. Mm.
but on that relationship topic, I also saw something over the weekend that piqued my interest, and I was like, So in a relationship, who do we put first? If it was positioned for a black man, and it said who comes first, your mom, your kids, or your spouse. But I
Now we're
guess that can
talking about
go.
marriage, right? We're not talking about boyfriend,
I
girlfriend.
guess I
Right.
could say
Yeah,
maybe
'cause they said wife.
long term partner.
No,
Long,
Mostly
married.
long-term
Because
partners.
it's saying wife.
because a long term partner is the
Say
same
wife.
thing as a wife, but
No, it is not.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
it's
No, it
not.
is not.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not.
no.
not.
Well,
No, it's
it
I
not.
came
actually
up. It said
despise the
that
word
the black men.
wifey.
It said
No.
that black men did not know who came first. Is it the wife, the mom, or the child?
Oh, this is dirt simple. First of all,
Mm.
let's go from a financial perspective. Um, the government does not recognize boyfriends, boo things, or bays. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it does not recognize fiancés. It only recognizes spouses. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when you look in the Bible, I'll give you $10,000 if you can point out any type of boyfriend in the Bible. You were either single or you were married.
Right.
That's it. So if God don't recognize it and the government don't recognize it, I don't recognize it either. So let's get that out of the way. Number one. So that means also the Bible says a man will, leave his mother and cleave to his wife. Okay. My mom is going to die. My mom is 75 years old. One day she's going to die. She got more in the rear view than she got in the windshield. Just keeping the buck,
Mm-hmm.
right? I made my kids through my wife. My wife comes first. The
Mm-hmm.
end. I am the head of my household. I don't wait around for the big piece of chicken because I am Dave Anderson, snapper of necks, casher of checks, taker of bitches, and founder of the feast. So please understand, you gonna run me my chicken immediately. I get
Yes.
fed
So,
first.
so
Yes.
Shawnee, you putting your kids first, your husband first, or your mom, Shawnee, in your marriage? Who did you put first?
If I'm married, then of course my husband comes first. If
You
I'm
ain't putting
married,
your kids first.
if I'm married,
I just knew you were gonna say kids all day.
married. If I'm married, the husband comes first.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
And it's
sound confident
interesting. It's
with that
interesting that
answer.
you say that.
It sounds like you just said it.
No, it's interesting, but
But
honestly, if you think about it, we love our kids, and as single moms, of course, your kids come first. Your kids come before anything, right? But when you're talking about the institution of marriage, from just even from my perspective, yes, your children aren't the head of your household, right?
Nope.
no, they're not. No. So yeah, the husband comes
So
first.
yes, your
The
husband
husband
is
comes
the head of your
first.
household. Yes, your husband does come is at the head. He comes first. Then you work your kids.
Yep.
My parents don't come before my kids.
But you
Yep.
only get one parent, and they gonna be there for you when it don't work, right?
You're
They're
That's
you're
gonna
how.
die.
right. You're
He
right.
said they
You
gonna
do
know
get
when we
one
all
set.
born.
You do get one set of parents, and it doesn't mean that you don't honor them. But if your parents love you,
Mm-hmm.
my parents been married since they were 18. I've seen them grow and go through all different types of things together. But one thing I can say is I know my mom puts my dad first. I know my
You're
dad puts my
supposed
mom
to.
first, and then it's us.
The problem is, and here's my issue. I would love to know the context of that ignorant statement because my whole thing is this whole narrative that black men don't want to get married,
Black.
black men don't want to do this, that, and the
Mm.
third. It's BS. And the reason that it's BS is the like women who hate men, a lot of misandrists who get praised for misandry, will say, "Oh, well, only 26% of black men get married." Yeah, okay. Well, let's break that down for a minute. 60% of that 60% of that um eligible age to get married is not getting married between the ages of 18 and 35.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically, so the 26% who have are normally usually financially stable. The majority of them are in the middle, if not upper middle class. They are gainfully employed and they do not have children because they are doing the same thing that you get praised for doing, getting themselves together, making sure their credit is right, making sure that they are they are trying to be the thing that they want to see in their lives romantically. And I hate to break
Or
it
trying
down
to
to you,
work
booby
on being the
cakes.
thing that we
Right.
say as women that we want.
That you want.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, like, y'all can miss me with that because at the end of the day, still 89% of those of us who do get married marry black women. So there goes the whole, oh, he's gay, he's in jail, this, that, and the third. But to say black men don't know how to do this, that, and the third, and who to prioritize, maybe you're choosing the wrong black man. Maybe something's wrong with your picker, and maybe to quote the immortal Issa Rae from a little show called Insecure, maybe you've got a broken.
Wow. But some of them don't know. Some of them don't know, and some of it is. I
Who?
mean, we hear it. We hear it
Who?
in
I
the
think that
we
we get
hear it in the
misconstrued though
media
sometimes
and all
because
that.
we know that in our community we put an emphasis on the mother. Especially for men, we put an emphasis on loving, respecting, and if you were raised by a single mother, it's even more prominent because you're looking at making sure. My mom took care of us. My mom broke her neck. She worked 3 and 4 jobs to make sure we were straight.
She
So
held
I
you
want to
down.
honor my mother, but you can still honor your mother and be there for your mother, but have the understanding that when you get married, your mom, your wife assumes that space. And I think that that's a difficult transition a lot of times for men when they get married. It is very confusing for them because they feel like they have to choose. Number one, you should never have to be in a position to say, I got to choose my mom or my wife. You should have an understanding of which comes first. But I don't think it's a black men thing.
I'm just
I
going by
definitely
what that says.
black men thing.
I mean, it happens the other way too with the daughters because I mean, it really depends on the parent because sometimes the parent tries to put extra pressure and be messy in
Yeah.
relationships and
You
Well,
gonna
I know
put
my
that
fiance
Negro
went and
before
sought the
me?
approval of my dad,
He
which
ain't
it was
seen my
important
approval.
to.
What up, Cookie?
I know he still has to go through this panel, but I think that also looking and having a conversation with who you decide to move on that path with is important too. So they'll understand. Everybody was brought up differently. So what if you were brought up, like I said, by a single mother, or in my case, I was brought up with both of my parents, and so you don't understand that dynamic of your wife should come first when you get married. You may still be putting your mom first because that you don't know anything else besides for that. So I think that sometimes that's a taught lesson too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has to make adjustments because it's just like when
Mhm.
people say somebody's not qualified to be president. Nobody's qualified to be president until they become president. It's a different set of circumstances, a different set of rules. Somebody who played ball in the NCAA versus playing it in the NBA, same game, different stakes, different level of talent. So you got to have a little bit of grace for that part. Everybody's adjusting. I remember when my wife and I got married, first thing she said was, I don't know shit about being a wife. I said, good. I don't know shit about being a husband.
Mm.
But she was married. No, 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 no. According to the state of Texas, I've only been married once, and that's to you. So we're going to figure this shit out together. The thing of it is, we got to stop doing this thing where it's like, well, because mom was the main, we've had a matriarchy in the black community since 1970, right? Thanks to the government, not because of anything we particularly did, so we got to learn. You know what I'm saying? My mom got divorced when I was 3. I still understood that, my wife got to come first. My mom got to take a back seat. Same thing with my wife. She had to know that, her mom take a back seat because this
Was
is
your
what's
mom
happening over
supportive
here.
of that? But was your mom supportive of that?
My
Or
mother has been supportive of that since 1985 when she woke me up and was like, "Today's the day I make you a good husband." And she taught me how to cook. She taught me how to manage. She taught me because I think my mom was trying to show me what she wanted for somebody else. She wasn't going to create a statistic. My brother can cook his ass off. My brother knows how to manage. My brother, has a certain level of discipline. I did not see my mother cry until I was 30 years old because she didn't want that being the narrative. You see what I'm saying? And I said, why didn't you hug me more? Why didn't you give me more, like, why didn't I ever see you cry? And she was like, you didn't need my tears. I saved them for God. Your father has always been there, but I had the responsibility of raising you on a daily basis. And I needed you to see, what it took. And if you saw that from me, then you had no choice but to emulate not only what your father did, but what I did. I was raising men. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain sacrifices and things that
Now,
But
wouldn't
yeah,
it feel
man.
different? Like Stacey said, I guess when your child says to you, "All right, now I'm picking my dude or my lady over you," I guess that's going to have to be an adjustment because Shiny, when Carly started dating and hey, mom, you out. you're going to feel some type of way, but you're saying that they supposed to put their man in front of
But
their
she
mom.
doesn't have to be necessarily.
Well, you know what I mean. When they get long-term relationship, that's what happens, right?
What you talking about when they grown?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
when they grown.
Well, when they're grown, that's that's different. They're gonna. I hope that I have been a good enough example for them to make better decisions than what I did. I hope the talks have helped, I hope when they get there, they do better because I don't want them to go through what I went through.
I really want to talk to Shawnee's boyfriend because, like, Shawnee out here creating stalkers. So there's something in that, sir. Like, if you have not experienced whatever that is that Shawnee has,
Waterfall.
Wait a minute.
listen,
that
that cooteroo,
Okay.
that gushy, it
Amir,
creates
wait a
problems.
minute. Wait a
So
minute.
I need you to understand, sir. It's okay. Like, just all you got. Listen, get yourself some scuba gear.
Oh my God.
You understand what I'm saying? A couple rubber bands and some duct tape, and you will be able to survive. Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy too. She got what I call that Baduism.
The Baduism.
Yeah, that's when you start wearing socks with the toes in it and eating apples off a knife.
What did Amir say?
Amir said, why don't we ever say single fathers when we talking about raising our kids? It's always a single mom. It's never.
So when I say
dad.
single mom, I only speak from my perspective and my experience. I definitely don't want to negate that there are single fathers out there doing a hell of a job raising children, raising young ladies and young men, which I know is hard. But I'm just speaking from my experience because there are more statistically. No, I have. There's more statistically. There's more women raising children as single parents than there are men. I'm not saying that there aren't any.
What's the stats, Mo?
I'm
you
always
talking stats. What's the percentages? You ain't got stats. You ain't got no facts to back that up. It could be just as many fathers out there single doing the same thing.
Well,
29% of black men are single. 29% of black men who are fathers are single fathers in America.
29%.
29%.
Well,
but
when
we
I
don't talk
speak
about that
of single moms, I don't speak of single dads because this is my opinion. Single fathers can always get some help, but as a single mom, I can't. It ain't.
She go generalize
the lies you tell.
Go ahead, Dave.
It ain't
the lies you
single
tell.
dads, y'all can meet a woman and she'll be like, I help you. I come over there
Unlikely.
and do this and I do that.
Unlikely. First of all, the entire system. See, we got to deal in facts. I can't deal in Shawnee's emotions. Let's talk facts. The entire system has been set up since 1970. You go to child support court and see how many fathers who are qualified, have jobs, have absolutely everything they need, do not get full custody of their child, even though the woman might be a psycho, might be nuttier than hooker spit. The entire situation is set up that way. Not only that, right? When we talk about, child support, if she wants to go in there and say, oh, I want an adjustment, then boom, that's what it is. The whole thing is set up. There's even organizations that support big child support, which is an entire cottage industry, like Support Kids, right? They garnish your check. All of these things happen. Let a father go in and say, listen, she's making more money than me. I'm the custodial parent. Very rarely, unless he's got a good lawyer, and preferably that lawyer is a black woman, can he go in and manipulate a system that is automatically stacked against him, because nobody wants to strip a child from their mother. Stop. All the help you get. Stop. We could possibly meet somebody, but come on, man.
It's seemingly
but y'all can get a female that'll help you quicker
Rare.
than I can find a man that's gonna come over here and help me get them to track practice, get them to school. And
so I understand.
Well, a man shouldn't be doing that. A husband should be doing that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you're a single mom, you're a single mom. That's
made that choice.
That's where you are. Yeah,
you made that choice.
You made that choice.
No, it's not always your choice to be a single mother. If your spouse is not a willing participant, you don't have a choice.
You can go to the courts and you know it. You ain't got to be a willing participant. The government will make him. The government will make him participate. The only thing the government can't make him do is spend time.
Right.
The government can't make
the biggest part of parenting.
My question is, and I'm not trying to be funny, but for those of you who have been single moms, when you created that child, you were not raped, were you?
No.
Did you do any type of psychological analysis on that individual before you laid down and made that baby?
I mean, other than just marriage counseling, that's it.
So no.
So
So
no,
you
but
made
the
a
government
choice.
can't
You
make
wait, wait. You,
them
no.
participate.
Hey, wait. Let me make my point. You made a choice to procreate with somebody who you did not have all the evidence on. You didn't go back 3 generations to see how far, what kind of mindset they had. A lot of times we go into these situations real haphazardly. And I wish we would go back to treating marriages as much as it is a wonderful institution for love and nurturing. We also need to look at it as a business decision. And we are primarily the main group that does not look at it from that perspective, and we come around with sour grapes. Not only does that do damage to the child, but it also does psychological damage to the way that you process everything and the way you filter every relationship after that. Those were choices, and sometimes you got to own the fact that you chose a bad dude.
I,
You
Let
we
me
chose
can,
a dude
I
let
who
can
was
me
not
add
see that.
worthy of your
Kamari in.
vagina. You
But
chose
at,
a
Let
dude
at
who was
what
not worthy
point?
of your children.
But at
Oh
what
man,
point
look,
were
it's
we
Camari
doing
Ellis
that? At
and
what
Camari
point were we
Ellis.
treating it like a business? When was
You
that
have to treat it
happening?
like a business.
Good
No,
It was
but
morning,
treated
I'm
like a
saying,
Kamari.
business
when
all
was
the
that
time.
happening, and who was there to teach us that? Because that ain't what we were taught about
And that's my
marriage.
point. That's my point.
But
Since
who?
1970, it ain't been like that.
But
But go
even
back
before
and look.
that,
Go
because like
back
my
before.
grandparents were married before my grandfather died, 84 years. But
Hmm.
that ain't that. It was just you. Just once you get married, you just stay together no matter what's going on.
That's part of it. The
Mm.
other part of that is like, for example, I got a 24-year-old, right?
Mhm.
You can't bring no dude around if he ain't come through my threshold and I ain't vetted him because
Mm.
you're messing with my legacy. You could procreate with this child, and then all of a sudden, genetically, I'm responsible for whatever rugrats this moron makes. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? He could
Mm.
ruin, he could ruin a lot. So no, 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 no. And that's the problem. We don't do that anymore. We just let the kids do whatever they want. Let them figure it out. Nah, no,
Mm.
it is just as much transactional as it is traditional. And if you don't understand that, sorry
What did
for
I
you.
walk into this morning?
Not
Hey,
much, brother.
what
How
up?
are you?
Good
You doing all right?
Morning, people. Morning.
morning.
Good
Hey,
Got
morning.
the bully.
Kamari.
Got the bully in the building. What's up, ladies? What's up, Mac?
What up? What up? What
Yes.
up?
And
Oh man.
he does this dynamic impression of you.
Oh, he does.
You
Listen,
know what the funny thing is? I will
I've
call
been
him out the
getting that
blue.
for about 10 years now.
I will call him out the blue. He'd be like, hello. And I'll be like, hello. Who is this? Who is this? This is Kamari. No, this is Kamari.
All facts. All facts.
Now, hey,
I love
Kamari,
this man.
earlier we did a story about a lady she held she won the lottery, like she was 3 days before they got married. She won the lottery for like $500,000. She kept it from her husband for the next 7 years and ended up cracking $1 million. And she basically put it in, she got a financial advisor like yourself and invested some money and made money. She didn't want to tell her husband to be at the time because he likes to buy clothes and cars and all that type things. Now, but when doing taxes as a married couple, you could file separate. Like, I'm trying to figure, how did she keep that money from him for 7 years without him ever finding out?
What do you mean by how? We being
Because
Tell us
serious or
the
we being
game.
ratchet?
no, I'm
No,
We
give,
being
give
serious
us
or we
the
being ratchet?
game.
Listen, ladies are the queens of having the stash bag. You know,
Don't do that.
they got to keep that mad money somewhere.
wait, you saying my wife got a stash?
I didn't say
That's
that.
more than mad
Listen,
money.
no, no,
So
no, no,
there's
no, no,
mad
nope.
money.
Stop right there. Nope. I don't want no smoke with Lady Q. We're not doing that this morning. We are not doing that this morning.
But she gonna come and don't mess
Yeah,
with her.
I don't want no smoke. None.
No, but 7 years of doing taxes, that money had to be reported that first year of marriage, right? When you and then you making money, the interest. I just it's finding weird. I guess they must have been filing separate.
Maybe, maybe not. There's a lot of things. Listen, let's not act like people always tell the truth and abide by the law. Right. So I don't know
Or
what
maybe
happened.
she was
I
Good
need
doing their
more.
morning, Ashley.
taxes.
What up, big?
Maybe she
That's
was
Yes.
the one that
Ashley.
was doing their
Oh, that's
taxes,
Ashley.
and he just kind of jumped in and said, well, whatever you say that we're getting back is what we're getting back. And maybe he didn't question it. But how, just hypothetically asking for a friend, if I were to inherit $500,000 from the lottery and I'm not married yet, how would I go about excluding that from my spouse or investing that into something and not and
Not
making sure
telling
that my
them, not
spouse
being honest,
won't
not being
Dave,
forthcoming.
do it?
Dave just told y'all, folks not looking at it like a business, right? And so that lady went into it. She didn't disclose our assets, right? I would say she's in breach of the contract, but that's a whole
What?
other thing, right? Listen,
What?
In
well,
breach of the contract
you
when
said
you get married.
3 days before They got married.
Right.
Yeah,
They
3 days.
married.
They were already
all-
into it. They already knew they was together. They was gonna be riding
Right.
out.
So for all intent and purposes, they are married. Right. The marriage starts before the
No,
actual.
they ain't married yet.
Hear me out. Hear me out. The marriage starts before the wedding. The actual marriage, like the idea of being together. You're walking through life together. You're going to do this together. So there was something that wasn't right. I don't know if she's right or wrong. No blame here. But she didn't do that. To
But
me,
y'all
that's
flipping and
breach of
flopping.
contract.
Y'all
I'm not
flipping and
flipping and
flopping.
flopping.
Because in business is business. If I see the car,
come on.
no. Because if I see the car and I know I want to buy the car, and mentally I done say, okay, I'm gonna get the car. It's not my car until I sign the deal. So they were not married yet.
Really?
Yes.
So we gonna act like
Actually,
financial
technically, you're actually
obligations.
married. The process of marriage starts when you get the marriage license.
Yeah, but that's 72
Bum, bum.
hours before.
Not
It's not
necessarily. I got
72
mine
hours
2 weeks before I got married.
Yeah, you get up to 30
I'm
days
waiting
in
to
PA.
the last minute because you might change your mind. You might
No,
change
because
your
that's
mind.
deceptive. If you like, for example, if my wife found out that I was a millionaire, right, and she didn't know, and she's like, "Well, okay, then why we just have this?" Like, if she didn't know I had a place in Rittenhouse Square, right, and then all of a sudden she sees it, she's like, "What the hell?" Y'all would be roasting me, calling me everything but a child of God. But
All
when it comes to
facts.
your benefit,
All
all of a
facts.
sudden, oh well, it was 3 days, so fair is fair. No. That's not how this works. Whenever it benefits you, you have no problem with being deceptive. Whenever it benefits you, you have no problem lying. Whenever it benefits you, you have no problem omitting certain facts that would be relevant to how I view you and how I view us for the rest of our lives. The second somebody says, you know what, that's wrong. Well, it was 3 days. Now all of a sudden you goddamn Johnny Cochran and you got all the technicalities. Well, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Shawn is
Nah.
making excuses. And I'm thinking about that time, Shawnee.
Married.
And I'm thinking about that time, hold up, when I had that flat tire and I didn't have enough money and you sitting on $1 million and I'm like, we need this tire. He thinking about all those moments where he needed a couple dollars and you for 7 years been sitting on
But who said she didn't give him the money when something like that happened?
She would have had to
if
justify.
he just found out.
Who said
where it came from? Where did it come from?
If
she's been real sneaky,
that's
deceitful. That's deceiving.
It was a separate account. So
how was it found out?
They had their own accounts.
The financial advisor had texted her. He picked up the phone and then saw that it said, "Congratulations, you're now a millionaire." And he was like, "What the hell?"
Oh damn, that's rough.
And it was 7 years. It was 7 years after the initial investment. So I think that's where I have one of the biggest problems with is that it's not that you hid it from me right before marriage, and then you told me like, "Listen, I came into this money," but you waited 7 years and haphazardly you found out because you were looking at my phone.
Because I wasn't going to tell you at
deception.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of deception.
But I'm with you. Like, we together, we doing this. And
you're not with him. You with yourself. You with yourself at that point. Because you didn't disclose everything. You are.
I mean, 7 years in, though. 7 years in is kind, normally I'll be like, yeah, how'd that money, girl? But 7 years in, that means you have invested 7 years of your life into a person. That means that you're saying to that person, I trust you with everything. But not this bag over here.
He probably don't trust her with everything.
No, because if she went and got a financial advisor, right? If she went and got a financial advisor and then all that things like if it was 6 months in, that's different.
Y'all
right now,
shade.
Shady, straight up. Like, so that's the thing. Like, come on, man, 7 years, nah. And then at the end of the day, if you put that, Camari, correct me if I'm wrong. If she put that money in a trust or she put that money in certain investments, Roth IRA, things of that nature, he wouldn't have been able to access it right away anyway. Correct?
More than likely not. More than likely not.
Problem solved. You can still be honest and keep it away from it.
But let's go to Sequeeza's questions, right? She says, but if the husband had found out, probably never would have been a millionaire, right? But this lady went through all this to not discovery, I was going to say fuckery, actually. She went through all this shenanigans, right? She could have done some counseling. She could have got a group financial advisor or a couple financial advisor. They could have done some kind of couples counseling to help him with this alleged spending. No, we got to say alleged spending habits because we don't even know if it's real or not.
I don't know.
Well, I've hid it from who, Shawn?
It's Shawnee and Mo
from the
when y'all
guy?
went to Vegas. If y'all would, $500,000.
What I would have hit it from?
When they went to Vegas on their secret. Oh, Dave, that was another thing. Shawnee got flued out after a date.
Oh Lord!
And no one knew, and she kept a secret. So with the mountain bike and the
was that with the NBA star?
Yeah,
Was that with the NBA star?
yeah. Anyway,
NBA star.
Yeah, allegedly.
Shawnee
So, okay, so what I tell if I won the money?
No, we know. We staying back on this. You got flued out?
It depends on. It depends on.
It depends on if you got flued out.
So, who was there when I won?
Well, depending.
Like if me and Mo was at the slot machine or the roulette table, and I won, then that'd be between me and Mo.
So Camari, now the money that she had, the $500,000 prior. Now, does the husband has entitlement to that after the 3 days when they got married, or was it just from the investments and the interest that it gained? They hit $1 million. So would he have it for the whole million, or just the $500,000 that it incurred after the wedding?
That's a legal question, and it depends on the state, right? Okay. Because it depends on how they spent the money, how she used the money. If she did use the money in the marriage and it's community property state, then possibly it could be all theirs. But there's so many different ways to go about that. I don't know.
So in Texas, it's 50-50, I think they said. So you bring it down the middle, whatever assets you have. But that's where the tricky part where I don't understand whether it's the 500 or if it's the $1 million that gets split in half, or are you only splitting the 500 that you incurred over the 7 years? So is it half of the 500 that you're only entitled to?
It depends. It really depends. Again, every state's different, and again, it depends on how she used the money.
Right.
But
she didn't. She flipped it in 7. I mean, I don't know if I could have won $500,000.
No, but so for example, let's say she took some of the money and used it for a marital asset. So they bought a house together or something like that. That money was now commingled, and it's so technical and it's so intricate. Everybody would fall asleep trying to explain it. So it really depends. It really depends.
Yeah, I don't even know what I could invest in with $500,000. But either way, that's why I would reach out to you, Camari, and be like, hey, I got this $500,000. What can I do?
Because you be talking about flipping and doubling.
Yeah, I do. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. I need to flip this, and I need to do it in about 3 months. But all right,
Jay Black always sound like he's trying to catch a lick. Never anything long-term investment. Every time I talk, Dave, how can I get this? What do I do business-wise that I can make this? I can make $5 million tomorrow. Like,
how? It has to be a way. There's something out there that I can do to.
Well, no, there is a way, right? Dave can talk about this, right? Get you a business and get you some good marketing. That's one of the best ways to flip it and double it, right there.
Facts.
That takes work, and people don't want to work. People just want it. They just want to get right to it.
Yeah, you want to get it fast. I mean, a little bit here, there. What's a little profit? I need a bigger profit. I'm trying to figure out ways to make it faster.
You got to invest bigger then.
But that's more risk.
No risk, no reward. Come on, Jay. We all, matter of fact, we all uptown dudes now, right?
Scared money don't make money. I know.
Boom. There you go.
All right, so it is tax season. So I guess Camari, thick in the tax season. I just reminded people, business S corps, you got to the 15th of March. 15th of March. To avoid the late fees, the IRS will only give you a one-time forgiveness. Trust me on that.
What you know about FTA? Jay Black for doing some research.
I did it last year. I was late and I was nervous as heck when they sent me that bill saying I got to pay them all this money because I didn't file on time. And I had to do all that to make sure that they forgave me and it was gone. So I said never again. But
wait a minute. Let's stick on that. First time forgiveness, right? It's important. A lot of people can use it. A lot of people don't understand it though. You only get to use it once every 3 years. And you must be in compliance. IRS talk. You must have did your taxes, and if you owe any money, you must have a payment agreement. So
Eddie, I want to have. I'm sorry, he got his Eddie Murphy joke there. Actually, Eddie. So tax season. What's happening right now? What hiccups have you noticed so far? Because I noticed for people that ain't really made no money, they get earned income credit and get like 2 stacks back. Like that's crazy to me that. People, I guess they got some earned credit income out there that people don't know about.
Yeah, but that's nothing new. That's always been happening, right? That's happened. I mean, but yeah, there's earned income. The child care tax deduction or credit went up as well. The child and elder care. What is it? When you send your kids or your parents to daycare, that credit went up as well. That's where a lot of people are really getting the money. in that, but you had to send your kids.
Talk to that to the daycare thing, because a lot of people are in daycare and spending a lot of money, so they getting credit just because if they spending $800 a week. How is that helping? Like, how much what is the
usually you'll get it back about 20%, but they increase the amount you can write off this year to about $8,000 per child, and that's endless. You could have 1 million kids doing that. It's crazy. So that's where.
Now, how does that work for elder care though?
It's the same rule. So if you take care of your parents, your dependent, you get to write off if they go to elder care or not.
Say if I say my mom was watching my kids.
Grandparent.
I'm trying to understand this.
Go ahead.
Say if my mom was watching my kids or a relative or a neighbor, like it don't have to be a licensed daycare provider, right?
No, it does not.
Oh, it don't?
Nope.
Well, they had to turn in an EIN and all that. You have to be able to prove it, right?
Security number. So security number and mom, nana, big mama, whoever, they can watch the kids too. That's usually the best type scenario because some of these daycares, they germ central, but that's a whole other conversation. But you can pay mama, nana, auntie, whoever. They just need to give you the name, address, and social security number. And,
they gotta give up their social. It might be Larry giving me their social, giving somebody their social.
Listen, you got to do something, right? Got to give them something. And then if they go to
the money, right? That's the thing. They
right.
got to, yeah.
Right. And then if they what was I about to say? If they go to a daycare center, same thing. Name, address, EIN number because it's a business. But there's a lot of tax deductions people are missing out on. But just do it right.
Count? Like if you send your kid to camp, like a basketball camp or
camp counts. Overnight camp does not count though. Yeah, so camp counts.
Doesn't count.
So day camp counts, but overnight camp counts doesn't count.
Does not count. Yeah, they consider that a plus, so to speak. Don't get me going on the logic of the IRS and Congress, because remember, Congress runs the IRS, right? So Congress gives the IRS all their rules, what they should do, because they wrote everything in the law. Some of this stuff don't be making sense. But the reason why daycares, even some of the restaurants, why there's some tax incentives for them is because they want to try to save those industries because of COVID.
Good point. Action just said, like with the daycare, if I got your social because I've been paying you, but if they don't report that on their taxes, they can get caught up. I'm assuming because they're not being forthcoming that they receive those funds that they supposed to pay taxes on. So most people are not going to want to give up their social because they want to be tax free under the table. I'm assuming.
Some people will do it though. I mean, because you even have like nannies and what do they call them?
Au pairs.
Thank you, Dave. On the same wave. Au pairs that work in the home, and a lot of times you'll use their social security number. Some of them are from overseas too, so it might be their social or their the green card number they have, the 10 they have. So you can use it. You can use it.
Are you noticing your people doing their taxes by mail, or you highly suggest direct deposit?
So the IRS is backed up over 25 million tax returns start of the year. Over 5 million of unprocessed mail at the beginning of the year. I don't advise mailing anything to the IRS. I still have clients that are having issues since 2019. E-file as much as possible. Do not mail. Don't trust snail mail, y'all. Do not. So you got the IRS not open it up, and then you got to wonder if the U.S. Postal Service is even going to deliver it. Too much uncertainty for me.
And there was some taxes recently done, and they got it back in a week. So, so they are processing tax returns. I don't know if it's some of the less intricate ones that are, but some of the simple ones literally filed 1 week, and they got their money the following. That 7 days later, exactly direct deposited. So
some of them. But guess what? The IRS. Somebody's echoing. Shawnee, is that you?
That's not me.
The IRS commissioner Chuck Redditt has said that they're not doing a good job by the people. So everything's still not clear. Yes, there are some people who are getting their tax refunds processed faster, but then there's some people who've been waiting. So it just depends. It depends.
So I have a tax question for you. So I did taxes for one of my family members who's incarcerated. And he was entitled to the stimulus. I had to do it by paper, mail it in. I haven't received anything in the mail from them. And I understand you said that they're slow. Is that going to affect him still receiving his stimulus from last year? During COVID.
When you mailed it in, did you get a proof of receipt? So listen, anytime anybody's mailing anything official to any government, please mail it registered mail or what
certified.
Return receipt requested.
Certified.
Thank you, Dave. Return receipt requested. You don't always have to do signature, but you at least got to do return receipt requested because you had to be able to prove that you sent it. And I've seen it in times where I'm not going to tell y'all what I did, but I said I sent it and I had the receipt. It might have not been for the stuff that I had in the envelope, but I had a receipt and I was able to get it through. But in all seriousness, though, anytime you're sending anything to an official, government, corporations, business, send it return receipt, send it certified mail, overnight mail, something where you get a tracking number, people. So
in this you suggest that I do because I can't do it electronically because he doesn't have a bank account to where I can go onto the IRS website and create him an account and do that and do his taxes that way. What would be the best course of action to take at this point?
I would have tried to get him a Cash App card where you can do direct deposit. Or one of those type companies. I'm not trying to give them any pub, but one of those type companies where you can get the routing number and account number and have it deposited. You didn't do that, so that's off the table. You mailed it in, so now what you got to do is call. And what we can do is I'll help you out since you're my new friend. We can call because I have an.
Don't let her fiance hear that.
No. I don't want to smoke. I don't want that kind of smoke. So
filing again wouldn't be an option. So don't send duplicate returns is what you're saying. Don't repeat the process.
If you already sent it once, what you got to do is figure out if they received it. More than likely they did. They just haven't processed it. If you send a duplicate return, they're going to process it twice and they're going to jack your stuff up twice.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then the ones that got the child tax credit, that $250 that Joey B was giving out, you're gonna get less on your return because you got it throughout the course of the year, and they have to report that. So you got to bring that letter with you. I noticed, right? You have to know that.
So first thing, you're not getting any less on your return. You're actually getting more. You just got the credit in advance, right? Up front.
I don't see it though. You don't see the $250 a month. That's gone by time. But go ahead.
What do you mean? You don't check your bank account when you got that direct deposit?
You get $250 in. You went to dinner and filled your gas tank up. That $250 gone. You don't see that money for real.
You sound real ungrateful to Master Joe right now. Master Joe is still white folk.
Master Joe ain't gonna give us nothing else. Just because of you, he ain't giving us nothing else. Just
I'm
because
mad.
I'm
mad that I did it. I'm mad that I did it. I should have just waited and then for the taxes to get it all in. Because I feel like you can see it and do something with it when you get it all at once as a lump sum versus the sprinkle. It's like
so you want the government to be safe for you. You want them to do your job.
How about
safe
that?
For you, huh?
See, and this is exactly what I'll be saying, man. Kamari, I've known this man for 30 years, and this is the problem. He still has too much of a worker mentality. He thinks that having a refund is a good thing.
I do. I like to see a WAP at once. It is. It feels different.
Listen. So here's the deal.
Does it not feel different that y'all getting it sprinkled out? Like somebody owe you $500, they give me $50.
It's not about, but
each 2 weeks. It ain't the same. I want mine back the same way I gave it.
First of all, context clues, right? What did Dave just say, right? Getting a refund. If you get money, you ain't getting no refund. And what's the goal here? The goal is supposed to be to get money.
Right. I constantly got to pay a tax bill. What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, the goal is to be happy paying your tax bill. Well, maybe not happy, but if you're making money, you're paying taxes. If you're making money legally and reporting it, right? Because even illegal money is supposed to be reported. For a lot of people who don't know that, right? Yeah. If you're making legal money and you're reporting it, because I know everybody does everything above board on this show.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to report it. Of course. And if you're getting good money, you're supposed to pay taxes. Now, listen, that's no shame on those who haven't arrived at the promised land yet. But that's the goal to get there. So you should be taking that money, whether it's a $250 a month, and investing it and not wasting it at some non-black owned establishment who don't care nothing about your community, right? That's not going to give you any kind of rate of return, right? That's not going to give you anything back as a dividend or interest or ownership in a form of equity. Or when you get that big lump sum, invest that as well.
And what's the tax?
I have another question.
The real quick, the dollar amount, because they always say you're a different tax bracket. So I guess to take advantage of all of the opportunities out there, is it less than 75,000? Is it keep it under 100,000? Like, is there like a good range where you can maximize, or at a certain point you just what you make is what you make and no benefits?
I don't quite understand the question, Jack.
I'm trying to get the
You
dollar
don't understand
amount.
the question.
I'm trying to understand the
I'm trying to
dollar
understand which
amount.
tax brackets are the tax brackets. Like, at what point? I think what he's trying to ask is what are the differentiators between tax brackets from a financial standpoint? So, if you make $441,000, you're considered part of the 1% in America. Like, what are the different tax brackets where they tax you at certain levels? Is what I think
you
he's
get more.
asking.
There you go. I like that.
All right, so let's start at the top, right? Dave just said it, 444,000. You're at the 37% tax bracket. That's the highest one. You are paying out the wazoo. So that means, let's start there, right? As a base, that 37%, that's only your federal tax. I think most of us are on PA. Yeah. So then on PA, you got to pay add on another 3.07%. So now we're at 40% taxes that you're paying. If you're in the lovely city of brotherly love in Philadelphia, that's roughly another 4% tax. So now we're at 44% tax. We can just stop there. We don't have to add on. We don't have to add on gas tax, cell phone tax, sales tax, liquor tax, cigarette tax. We're roughly paying about 50% of your money when you're at the highest tax bracket. Now, that's the highest tax bracket.
The common folk, 70,000 is the average wage right now. I think
your average American makes somewhere between 50 and 54,000. Your average black person makes about 34 to 35,000. So
you step it up.
Wait, say that again. The average wage, and say that one more time. What you just said?
Your average household makes about $54,000. Your average black household makes about 35,000, 34,000, somewhere around there. But just to answer your question, Jay, I don't know if anybody cares about this. Listen, somebody in the chat, tell me if y'all care about tax brackets. Just put tax brackets in the chat, right? So 0 to let's say $9,995. That's the 0% tax bracket. Nobody pays any federal income taxes. All right, 9,951 to 40,000. If you are a single filer, that's 10%. Right. And I want y'all to also remember that each tax bracket depends on your filing status. So if you're the lady that hid the money, the 500,000, if she filed jointly, her tax bracket might be a little bit different than everybody else. All right. 40,000, let's say 40,000, I'm gonna round it up. 40,000 to 86,000 is $22,000. 86,000 to 164,000 is 24% or the 24% tax bracket. 165,000 to 209,000 is the 32% tax bracket, right? 209,000 to 523,000 is the 35%. No. We got one more. We're gonna go there. 523,000 or more is the 37% tax bracket. Now, what you got to factor in, right? Because this is all academic, this is all theoretical stuff. Everybody gets some kind of tax deduction, standard deduction, itemized deduction, child care tax credits. If you are a business owner, all of these things could go up or go down. So those are just kind of a simple guideline right there. But I don't know. Did anybody say they cared about tax brackets?
They didn't, Camari. But I will tell you, as a poor man, because you know I only make $14,965 a year. I think it's really important that we start having conversations with Black people about having your business own things. And while an LLC is cool, S corp might be better. And sometimes depending. That's why I said might. I'm not the expert. I'm just bouncing stuff off to try and feed these Negroes. I was wondering if we could talk about how to set up trusts for your children and also for your assets, so that the trust can own like properties and things of that nature. Because there's a lot of bad information out here on the internet by flashy gurus that don't know what they're talking about. And I figured I would really like to take this opportunity for you to kind of break that down for people so they can understand how it really works.
So listen, trusts are cool. Trusts are, they are separate entities. They're separate businesses that own stuff, just like your big corporations that are out here, they own stuff. Here's the thing with all the LLC Twitter, the trust Instagram, the S Corp TikTokers. it's all levels to this, right? So Dave just said he makes 14,000. I know he's lying, but I'll say this.
Said he knows he's lying. That's what he made.
No. Listen. You gotta listen. Right. His 14,000 was structured and it was planned, right? Because he did it all through either investments and business. Because what happens is when you're a business owner, you can write off your tax deductions and expenses first. So he might have had $1 million worth of expenses, right? And he made 1,014,000, but he only had 14,000 that was actually profit. You can do that. Everybody complains about Amazon, but Amazon took their full legal tax deductions plus a lot of previous year's losses to add up to their tax bill. So you can do some things when you do it. Me and my homegirl Courtney talk about the tax code being a cheat code. If you just follow the tax code, it will show you the way to get wealthy.
Well, God forbid you actually read it, because
Well, you might not read it. It's good. It's great bedtime reading. You'll be put to sleep in 2 seconds.
So
you mean they should hire a professional, Camari?
Yes, Dave. What were you saying, Mo?
I have a business question. So for the small business owners, a lot of us operate on multiple platforms. So you may have an Etsy account, you may have an eBay account, Shopify account, those platforms, right? How do you manage your taxes from that way? So maybe your eBay only did 5,000 last year, and then maybe your Etsy did 25,000. How do you maneuver around that? How do you work that?
Is the goal to be a real business owner or just a hustler?
That part.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that's why I'm
eBay over here. Come on, man.
No, but
that's why I'm asking.
Start off as a hustler and then they try to convert.
Right.
Okay.
So how do you?
If you're starting off as a hustler, I'm trying to find my Oh, here we go.
Kamari about to give it to y'all.
The average person starts off hustling.
No, because a lot of people who have something to monetize, they don't have the directions.
How do you monetize?
Let it go.
You know what she meant.
You know what the hell I meant.
Well, hold on.
A lot of people have a trade or like a t-shirt business or something that they can say turn into money. And they say, okay, I don't know how to sell this. And somebody says, oh, just start you an Etsy account. Oh, well, start this account. And you look up and you have multiple platforms that you're selling your product on. How do you manage that into I guess evolving into one platform, I guess, as you're suggesting, Dave?
Oh, okay. Oh, you talk Dave?
Well, that actually wasn't what he was suggesting. But
Camari was the tax.
Well, it's the same because, right, it's still management. Either way, it's still management. Here's the thing, and I'm going to come because
you still have to report that, even if you got $500 off of one site and then the majority of your sales are on another site. You have to make sure that you report every dime, is what you're saying.
Yes, I didn't get the chance to say it. You beat me to the punch, but yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's my question.
Right, and I want to come back because I never finished answering Dave's question either. But to your question, well, yes. What you should be doing is you have a great bookkeeping system. You can start off with, a good old black and white composition notebook and you can write everything down. I wouldn't do that, but that's what you can do, right? I would take my phone, right? And I'm not going to plug the company that I use because I ain't paying no ad dollars. But I would get one of these.
Off air.
Yeah, I would get one of these. Matter of fact, there's a couple of free ones, right? I would get one of these companies that get all your financial transactions and you can put them in one place, whether they come from Etsy, PayPal, Shopify, Amazon, any of the like, and then you can categorize them. And then so when it's time to, let's say, become a real business owner, maybe get a business loan, right? Pay taxes or file your taxes because you want to buy a house and get a mortgage, right? You can easily get your taxes done. And it's pretty simple because everybody, anytime you borrow money from a bank, what do they want? Tax returns. What do? They pull your tax records to see if you really followed those tax records. And everybody who does the Etsy hustle, right? Everybody that's a barber or beautician, I shouldn't call them beauticians, hair salons, right? They a lot of times don't like to file their taxes and they always get jammed up.
So but we got to go ahead. I'm sorry.
Coming back to Dave's quote, right? Because he was talking about trust, S corps, corporations, and things like that. All those things are great, right? They're all, huh?
And I know Dave has to go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he
I'm about to
changes
bounce.
his whole persona. It's the
Yeah, I'm
glasses. See,
like,
the
what the
glasses
hell?
changes the whole persona.
See,
Oh, you
You're
couldn't have
supposed to
missed
be
Mega
with that
the
the
Design,
whole
millionaire
time.
glasses
Mega
on.
Design, Alpinas.
listen.
This
Here's the
team
thing.
No,
He
you
living
I
the
got
don't own
money.
fast
these
life out here,
glasses.
y'all. He
I
living the
don't own these
You
fast
got
life.
glasses. The company
money.
owns these glasses. I'm using these glasses because the company owns them.
near right
That's
off
it.
because he wore them on here. Bam.
Okay.
You could take that angle. You can take that angle, but I'll say
Come on
this:
behind Dave.
there are no bad financial tools. There's just mismanagement of financial tools. It's like there's no bad cars, there's no bad guns. The people that use the guns and the cars, they're the bad people because they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have a strategy. So when we start talking about getting a trust, when you start talking about getting S corps and then owning it, the one question you got to ask: do you have enough cash to even sustain all this stuff?
That part.
We
Right.
don't want to do the basics. We don't want to do the fundamentals. Get some money. Learn how to make money in a repeatable fashion. Then you can do all the fancy stuff later.
Well, one
Each
thing
and
y'all
every
said makes sense
Monday.
because getting to like where you owe money on your taxes. So this year I made less, and it's crazy because now when you said it, it makes sense because when I plug in my business stuff, then that's when it said, okay, you owe $6,000. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? But then I had to put in everything else, like everything I spent out. I ended up spending out more than what I brought in. So that's what.
Now, did you figure it out from here, or did you have a system that you use, Shawnee?
I keep all of my stuff. So I pull my bank statements. I pull all of
Is
my.
it digital that you're keeping track, or are you manually doing? Is what he was asking.
Oh, well, I have to look at it digitally and then I write it down. And then it goes. And I know you told me I need to,
Oh, see, she
do
got
all
it.
this.
Well, this what she got. She got another version of this. That's what she got.
Yeah.
Not a folder.
So I'm gonna try to
She got
switch
the
over
green
this
version.
year to be digital. So I don't.
Listen,
I got a
Hire a
whole folder
professional.
of these.
one of
Hire
the
a professional.
biggest right.
Huh?
What nobody.
What you say? Dave, I'm getting there. Baby steps. Baby steps.
No, baby steps don't win marathons. Y'all keep talking about y'all want to make money, but y'all keep moving like common folk. Stop with this baby step stuff. Start moving. Y'all want to be taken seriously, then take this seriously because the government will hem you up. Ask Wesley Snipes. Ask Ronald Isley. Like, stop playing.
Oh, I forgot about Ron Isley. Yep.
I didn't.
Ron Isley, Wesley Snipes, Lauryn Hill, Fat Joe. I mean, there's a bunch. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, each and every Monday, we have him come through. He slides through. He answers questions. He give us tips. I'm sure there's some hiccups he's going to find out with some of his clients that he can share each week as well. So as we preparing for ours, tax season is here. The Finance Rebel. His number's there on the screen. Reach out to him. Check him out on his IG as well. We want to thank him for coming through. Actually, we're going to end up wrapping the show up. I know today with Michael Shawn being out sick, Dave came through. I think we're going to do a couple best ofs while Mike get through. I hopefully it ain't COVID. I don't know what this virus was kicking his butt. But the next couple of days we're going to do a couple best stuff. Right, Shawnee, replay some Johnny Gill interviews, Claudia Jordan, some other stuff.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then Thursday we'll be back with Dex.
Yes, the psychic. So
hopefully, yes. So hopefully he'll be able to predict and tell us when Michael Shawn will get rid of this virus. Hopefully it's not the last part of the Omarion.
Yeah, he got Omarion. Michael Shawn hooked up with Omarion.
He got Omarion 2.0.
He hooked up with Omarion.
Dex be knowing. So, but now we're going to go ahead. Let's end the show.
I want to give you one last thing, right? Gas prices, oil prices are $130 right now. Gas prices are going up. If you get your tax refund, please don't buy one of these big, bulky SUVs because that's going to tax your pockets like crazy. Unless it's for a business.
Well, yeah,
I drive an SUV, and it's still a gas guzzler. I feel like I got a little man in my gas tank that just as soon as it go in, it's out.
That's usually how it goes with you, huh, Sexy Mo? As soon as he goes in, it's out.
Oh my God.
So rock out with us the next couple of days. Enjoy some replays you may have missed. Some good interviews. I'm sure they were entertaining. We'll be back live Thursday with Dex. Maybe David join us if Mike is not back by Thursday. Perfect. Good.
Absolutely.
Good time. Ready for Dave for the business bully. We ought to do a business bully section.
Yes, let's do that.
Do a
Business,
segment.
yes.
All right,
in
let me
honor
go
of.
take my baby to the
Yes.
doctor.
All right,
All right.
Dave. All right, peoples, we out. You fight for everything in life, including the biggest slice of pizza. Something. Enjoy all your happiness and peace and love and blessings. It's Michael Shawn of the Takeover Legends. We'll see y'all live Thursday. Check out the replays the next couple of days. Have some fun. Enjoy your week, people. We alive. Enjoy
Later,
your week.
y'all.
We out.
Yeah.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap